Welcome back, children. How are you all? Before starting today's class, let's have a quick revision on our previous video. In our previous video, we completed the poem Teamwork, right? We discussed about the meaning, then we drilled the new words. After that, we completed Let's Read part. We solved it. Next, we saw about think and write. Okay, then we saw about the rhyming words, and we had already discussed about the meaning of this poem for want of a nail. For want of a nail. Okay, so up to this we have completed. Today we will move to this question. In order to solve this part, you must understand the poem. I had already explained you the meaning of this poem, right? Still, we will read the poem once again. Let's read. For want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. For want of a horse, the rider was lost. For want of a rider, the battle was lost. For want of a battle, the king was lost. And all for the want of a horseshoe nail. Okay, so it's the traditional form of rhyming you can find here. In each line, you will find the same word at the last, lost. Okay, at the end of each line of the poem, you will find the same word, lost, 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 and lost. Right? Okay, so I had already explained you the meaning. Now, based on this poem, you will find some task. Here, you will not get any question. You will get the answer. The answers are written here. Isn't it a surprise for you? The answers are written here. You have to frame the question. Right? In our previous video, I had I had taught you regarding the ways of framing questions. How to frame questions. Basically, I had explained you the two ways of framing question. One is using question word, and another is uh, by bringing the by writing the helping verb at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, so here you have to frame questions for the given answers. The answers are given, correct? Okay, let's move to this bubble. Okay, what is the answer? The shoe was lost because of the nail. Here you can underline the word because. That means the reason is written here. When in a sentence you will find the word because, that means somebody is giving reason. Somebody is showing the reason. Okay, so for that sentence you should use why. ओके वाई, जैसे कि हिंदी में भी हम कोई अगर पूछता है कि मैं किताब खरीदने बाज़ार गया था, उसे अगर हम पूछेंगे ये आंसर पाने के लिए कि वो क्या करने गया था, उसको हम क्वेश्चन कैसे फ्रेम करेंगे? आप बाज़ार क्यों गए थे? राइट, दैट मीन्स why had you gone to the market? Correct? So we are using why, right, in order to know the reason. Here in the answer, the reason is written. That means the answer is already written. You have to frame the question using why. Okay, so frame the question why. Okay, why was the shoe lost? Why was the shoe lost? It's the answer. Okay, that means this is the question for this answer. Why was the shoe lost? Right, children? Next, the next bubble. The kingdom was lost because the battle could not be fought. The kingdom was lost because the battle could not be fought. युद्ध नहीं लड़ा जा सका या युद्ध नहीं हो पाया, इसलिए राज्य हारना पड़ा. ओके, या राज्य भी हाथ से चला गया. दिस इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस स्टेटमेंट. So now children, you have to frame suitable question to get this answer. Correct? So here also you can frame question using why. Right? So it's very easy. Why? Okay, first of all you have to write why. W should be capital. The first letter should be capital. Why was the kingdom? Why? Next you have to write was the kingdom. T will be small letter. uh, why was the kingdom lost? And at the end you have to put the question mark. Okay, so why was the kingdom lost? This one is the proper question, suitable question for this answer. Okay, the third bubble you have to do by yourself. Okay, I told you the way to frame the question. First bubble and second bubble we solve together, and the third bubble I am leaving for you. Right, children? Next we will move to the page number. What's the page number? Okay, the next page number 24. Okay, right. So now make 3 more questions and answers from the poem Teamwork. That means from the poem Teamwork, you have to frame the question as well as the answer. Right, children? So, first of all, you have to think, you have to plan that what questions you are going to frame, and in return what you want to get the answer. Likewise, you can see here I have solved 2 of the bubbles. What can we share with our team? What can we share with our team? We can share the joy with our team. Okay, in the poem, you might have read this line. We have already read this line, right? We can share the joy with our team. This line is already there in the poem. So, based on that poem, based on that line, you can frame the question. So, another statement is there. Another sentence is there. We should put our eyes on a common goal. This is the answer. So, based on this answer, you have to frame the question: where should we put our eyes? Okay, where should we put our eyes? We should put our eyes on a common goal. On a common goal. Here the word goal is missed. G O, okay, G O A L, right? G O A L, goal. full stop. Alright, children? So now we completed the first bubble and the second bubble. Here we framed the question as well as the answer, right? The third one you have to do by yourself, right? Next we will go to picture composition. Children, it is one of the very important question. Okay, most of the time you will get a question like this in your exam. Okay, that means you will get a picture. Okay, and based on that picture you have to write some sentences. That means you have to write a story, right? So let's see what is there. Look at the pictures and answer the questions in one sentence using the word clues given in the box. Some clues are being given to you for your help, right? And based on that word clue, right? These are the clues you can see here in the box: plumber, electrician, painter, laborer, mason, carpenter, gardener. So these are the clues, right? Um, so based on these clues given in the box, we have to frame some sentences. Look at the picture and answer the questions in one sentence, right? Here, some questions are being asked. Okay, first of all, we have to discuss about this picture. In order to write a story based on the picture given, you must you must be very clear about the picture given. Who is there? What is he or she doing? What is happening in the picture? You must have a clear idea, clear picture in your mind, and you must be well versed in framing sentences, right? So these are the different things that you have to take care of before making a story based on the picture. This is called picture composition. You have to compose a story, you have to compose some sentences based on this picture, right? So here you can see how many people are working here. There are five people working here. One is laying bricks. The first one he is laying brick, right? Bricks, you know, right? So second one is doing some electrical work. He is doing some. We don't know the name of anybody, right? But we know their occupation, right? So uh, he is doing some electrical work. Another person is holding the ladder. He is holding the ladder. Now, here you can see another person is repairing the wooden door. Okay, he is repairing the door, and now the last one, he is painting the wall. Right? So, first of all, we decided about their work, we identified them. In EVS, we used to study uh, regarding the our helpers, the people who helped us, right? According to the profession or according to the occupation, we call them in different names, right? Likewise, a person who repairs the taps and pipes, we call him or her as plumber, right? Who is a painter? A person who paints the wall or paint the picture. Next one, mason. Mason is a person who lays bricks in order to build a house or a building. Electrician who does electrical work, right? Laborer, a person who works in different places, or who you can say a person who does labor. Okay, laborer has a different meaning, right? In different uh, according to the place we will get different types of laborer, right? Construction laborer, then agricultural laborer. In different sector, we will get different types of laborer, right? Carpenter, a person who makes different furniture, particularly wooden furniture. We call him as carpenter. Wooden furniture like table, chair, doors, windows, right? Then gardener, a person who takes care of the garden, right? So these are the different, that means person working in this picture. And now we will go to the question answer section. Who is laying the bricks? Once you read the once you observed the picture carefully and you came to conclusion and you identified the persons here, then you will not face any problem in answering the questions. Who is laying the bricks? Here you have to write in complete sentence, don't write in single word. Okay, you have to write a mason is laying the bricks. A mason, a mason is laying the bricks, right? For your note, you can note down the meaning of plumber or mason, right? Here I have already written. So a mason is laying the bricks. Likewise, who is holding the ladder? Who is holding the ladder? Laborer, right? Laborer. This one. A laborer is holding the ladder. So question number 1 and 2 is over. Now we will go to the question number 3, 4 and 5. Who is the man on the ladder? Who is the man on the ladder? I told you, because he is doing some electrical repairing, right? What do we call him? Electrician, right? Here we have to write who is the man on the ladder. What will be your answer? Our electrician is on the ladder. Is the sentence correct? A electrician, if we will write here, electrician is on the ladder. Is the sentence correct? No, there is a silly mistake, but you have to take care of this thing. Here children, electrician starts with a vowel. The first letter of the word electrician is vowel, so you have to use an. An electrician. An electrician is on the ladder. Now your answer is right. So question number 4 and 5 you have to solve by yourself, right? Who is making the door? In the same format you have to write. Just you have to change the what person, right? Who is painting the wall, right? Okay, now we will go to the next question. This one is very important. Now make up a story about the picture, give names to the people, write the story showing the importance of a teamwork, right? This one is the composition. Here you have to compose a story. You can give the people, you can give names to the people according to your own wish, as you like, right? And you have to think of a story. You have to first plan a story, right? Then you have to frame sentences accordingly, and you have to note down in your notebook. So for this, first try in a rough notebook and write with your pencil, because the first time you may commit some mistakes. So for the first trial, you do it in your rough note and write with your pencil. Okay, once it is completed, after writing, you can show it to your parents also. Okay, once they will check, then you write down in your notebook and you send it to me, correct? So while writing that story, you should focus, okay, regarding their profession, what they are doing, okay, and on the importance of teamwork. You can see in the picture, okay, five persons are there and they are doing the different work. Can a single person do all this work? It's not possible. It's not possible. We need a team to construct a building. Okay, so there are different people for different occupation, different work. A mason is there to lay bricks. A painter is there to paint. A carpenter is there to make furniture, right? Electrician is there to do electrical work. So that means work is divided, but their goal is to complete the work, to complete the construction. They are working as a team.